Do you sometimes wonder what you're meant to be doing? Do you feel like you're on automatic? It's Groundhog Day. You get up in the morning and you do the same old, same old. Then you get home from work or finish with the kids and same old, same old. If this is you, I encourage you to keep listening. Today I'm talking about what is your why. Why are you here? Why were you born? What are you meant to be doing with this body that you've got? I've been doing marriage counselling and individual counselling for the last 17 years. And I hear a lot of suffering. I hear a lot of pain. I hear a lot of just dissatisfaction. And I also hear people saying, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. I know it's not this, but I don't know what it is. So today I'm going to talk about your why and the importance of it. I truly believe that you are equipped in this lifetime with your why, and it's your job to uncover it, heal, get closer to it, and understand what your why is. And when you have your why, that's when your life can begin to change. Look, I've just put a book out into the marketplace called Inner Wealth, Pain to Purpose. And in doing that, I'm really illustrating that through your pain, you can find your why, which is what has happened for me. It's through, and this could be the case for you if you're listening to this, often crisis reveals your why. Because you're in so much pain, you know that there's no way to get through it, that you've actually got to be with it. And it's through that peeling back, it's through allowing yourself to feel that you can begin to get closer to your why. Another way to put your why is your purpose. And you're not going to get a letter in the mailbox going, here's your purpose, this is what you're meant to be doing, go to and get it. Your job is to actually keep peeling back the layers. Imagine an onion, and the onion has lots of layers, and in the middle of that onion is you, the authentic you, your true self, not the self that was created due to ego. We spend a lot of time, particularly in our younger years, trying to understand ourselves. And that can be because we have created a false self. I call it the ego. A lot of other people call it that as well. The false self that you created to be loved, to be liked, to be validated, to be seen. Now, this ego is not your true self. I cannot tell you the amount of people who've sat in front of me and said to me, Helen, I've lost my identity. I don't know who I am anymore. And as we begin to open it up, they recognize that they've created a false self to be loved, to be seen. And it's actually coming at a really big cost because it's taking them away from their why, what they're meant to be doing on this planet. Now, the mums of you out listening to this, well, my why, my purpose is raising my children. And look, I get that. That used to be mine. Very much so, until my kids would have been probably under 10. And I remember going to a workshop, and the facilitator, he stood up there and he said, for any of you out there who think your purpose is being a parent, I suggest you listen up. And I'm thinking, oh God, here we go. And look, it particularly it was quite crushing at the time because I was very much on purpose. I'm a very passionate person and I live on purpose. And I thought my purpose was to raise my children. It's not. It is your role. It is your role to be there for your children, and in time to launch your children and let them go. And of course, hopefully they'll want to be around you as adults. But it is your job to find your purpose. And if your purpose is wrapped up in parenting, you will find it very, very hard to launch your children. And I see it with individuals coming in and working with me, that if their purpose is wrapped up in being a parent, they find it very, very hard to launch their kids, which then you're putting all of your stuff out on your kid. So anyway, that's a conversation for another day. Where I'm going is, what is your why? And if you are not sure, because every single one of us have a why, and we get caught up in life, and sometimes we're dealt cards, and we can get caught up in the busyness and the doing. However, it's in those quiet minutes when you're sitting and there's stillness and you're not feeling contented. You know that there's more. You've got this yearning. You can feel it. You can feel it in your gut. Well, it's almost like you've got to go fishing. You've almost got to be like a private detective. And you've got to, first of all, bring in awareness. Awareness of when you get those little touches. Touches being, you might listen to a podcast you like. There may be a book that really stirs something in you. It could be something that somebody says, but it just stirs something in you. And when you are getting clearer or moving towards your why, you will begin to feel it in the body. You might get goosebumps. You just know. And for a lot of us, me included, my why has come through so much stronger every time I've had a crisis, every time I've had pain. And because this life is a timed event, we don't know how long we've got. And I know for me, I do not want to get to 80 or 90 and look back and go, you know what? I didn't max it out. I didn't listen to that little voice inside of me going, go, do this, try this. Because that intuitive voice inside, whether you call it God, grace, universal intelligence, spirit, doesn't matter what you call it, but that little voice inside that's guiding you, that when in your stillness and in your quietness, or when you're in nature or when you're in the ocean, it comes in and you just have a knowing, that's the little voice that's going to support you in helping you uncover what you're here for. Why are you here? Why are you in this body? What are you meant to be doing with your life? And all I would say is keep going. So what does awareness look like? Awareness is first of all self-care. Because if you can look after your body, your physical body, your emotional health, your mental health, if you can give yourself self-care, then your little voice and purpose has got much more of a clearer path in, instead of fighting up against all the blocks and the roadblocks and all that you do to put in front of what truly matters. And, a big one I see is, there's a few actually, self-criticism, beating yourself up, talking yourself down, attacking yourself, judging yourself. That's a really great way that will stop your why coming through. Another great way that will stop your why coming through is self-doubt. And with that self-doubt, if you peel all those layers, self-doubt, self-esteem, self-confidence, right down into self-worth. I'm not important. Doesn't matter what I think. I don't value myself. If you don't clear out some of those, you've got no chance of that purpose coming through. Being able to really honour yourself and know that you are important and that what you feel is important, and to be able to bring in self-awareness, to begin to be able to listen to that beautiful voice inside of you that is guiding you if you choose to listen. But often what happens is we listen to our head, the thinking mind that just likes to ramble and chat. A lot of the stuff that our head is talking about isn't actually true. But we create and we get really, really busy doing and controlling and manipulating and coming from the ego to create, we'll say, a life that is very head-driven. But if you want to know your why, and if you want to live by that deep calling, or you want to live on purpose and you want to find your purpose, you've got to get out of that goddamn head. And you've got to start trusting that inner knowing, trusting that heart, that gut. And you can only do that through stillness, quietness. This is why meditation is absolutely crucial. And look, meditation, even just start with 40 seconds where you breathe in and out and get connected into the body. Don't make this difficult. You don't have to make this difficult. If you're wanting to uncover your why, you've got to work out what makes you tick and what gets you turned on. And a really helpful way also is to ask, I was going to say a family member, but I think they're too close. Ask a friend. Ask a friend to describe you. Ask a friend what they see in you. Often a lot can be revealed from that. But living on purpose, it's a knowing, it's a feeling. Think of somebody in your world who you know lives on purpose. They're living their calling. They're on purpose. What are their personality traits? What is it about them that you admire, that you're inspired by, that you perhaps want to learn how they do what they do? Ask. Be inquisitive. That's a really helpful skill tool to have as you begin to get a lot clearer on your why and what your purpose is. And it's in the quietness, because until you stop being busy doing, drinking, avoiding, numbing, checking out what everybody else is doing, particularly on socials, it is really going to be very difficult for you to connect with that why and that purpose. So how much do you want this? The thing is, this purpose, this calling, this why, this has been in you probably from your late teens. You know what it is. And it's slowing down enough to tap into it and being courageous enough to allow yourself to begin to explore it. I've got the push and pull method, which is in my book, Inner Wealth, which actually is a #1 bestseller, which is really quite lovely. But in it, I talk about the push of pain. You're listening to this because you are uncomfortable. You are listening to this because you want to know your why. So the first really helpful place to start is bringing in awareness, which includes self-compassion, self-care, and mindfulness. It's being able to live in the present moment, in the here and now. It's making it simple. It's these little stirrings. This isn't man-made. You can't work this out in your head. You got to feel it in your body. And it's something that if you allow enough space and time and bring in some patience, it'll come through. It just will. Because this is your inner wealth. Inner wealth is passion and purpose and power. It's your inner power source. So finding out what your why is crucial. If you're in pain, there's a reason for your pain. We often have to go through pain to get a lot clearer on what your why is. Look, I really hope this is speaking to you. Look, my why is to inspire, and my why is to really prod and poke for you to really self-reflect, because nobody can tell you what your why is. Only you can. And perhaps trusting in a bigger power outside of yourself can be hugely helpful, i.e. Grace, universe intelligence, whatever you call it. But it's there, it's everywhere, and it's allowing yourself to just trust and be with this. Anyway, I could yak on all day about this. Check out my Helen Harrison website. I've got some good stuff on there that could be really helpful with where you are right now. See ya.